Alright, testing. 1, 2, 3. Alright, testing. 1, 2, 3. Perfect! Woohoo! Okay. Welcome, everyone, to what is going to be yet another episode of Harley Works on Kirel. I really should be sitting in the chair, but I'm not going to be sitting in it for long anyways, because we're opening up Kirel's blend file. Yes, it's a weekend stream. We are indeed doing this. I'm gonna not worry about the animation for that at the moment, because we have a whole lot of momentary animationary things to worry about. What I am gonna worry about, though, is this dang thing, which is not working out nearly the way I think it should be. I'm going to try a few things. Oh! Mix? No. Stencil? No, it's gotta be a stencil. Show alpha. Let's bring the color down here, maybe? Add, multiply. Ooh, hello. Darken? Nope. Mix. Opacity, okay. Okay, so this is a stencil. Needs to be RGB to intensity and stencil. Okay, we'll fuss more with that later. For the moment, we're going to come on along in here. And yeah, we're going to work on wiring up the audio podium here. Ooh, hello. You should not be that. Soft volume. Is there a soft volume in here? Yes, there is a common room. Don't draw outside. I'm guessing that one tells it to not draw the outside. Ooh, common room, big, light, soft volume. Yeah, that looks like one Dubes would have made. Potentially. Yep, okay. Tab. At the center of this, we're going to create a cylinder. We're just going to scale it up. Gonna scale it out. Scale. Scale it out. Oh, no. Scale it in. There we go. Then scale it by the y-axis. There we go. And then we're just going to come along in here. And we're just going to select these triangular faces where we can. I'm just going to get rid of them. We're just going to completely remake the entire region. Come on. Well, almost the entire region. obviously we're reusing the same object. And I'm just basically concerned that these little triangle things just do not export correctly when they, yeah, there we go. Come back here. I'm going to say common room, big light, soft volume. There we go. Now then, I'm going to add this to a group. Common room lighting. I'm going to select this object here. Look at that. Yep. I set you to common room lighting. I'm going to set you to common room lighting. Hey! Nice. Can go back to bricks here. We're going to re-enable that. You need to be RGB to intensity and stencil. Yeah, it's you. That's got to go like that. Okay. And I'm curious. I'm going to go solid. I'm going to go to No, I want to go to vertex paint. Aha! There is painted texture there. Okay. Object. Okay. Good. And we're going to come along to this thing. I'm going to set all these to common room lighting. Room lighting. Okay, good, good, good. We're doing good so far. Common room lighting. Let's check the material here. Yep, we have the exact same issue we had over here. Boop. Boop. And then we're going to go RGB to intensity and stencil. And then I'm going to crank up the brightness here because it's gonna have So yeah, we're just gonna come along and we're just gonna do this for everything. We're gonna go common room lighting, bricks. Nope, bricks already set to common room lighting. Okay, already got that fixed. Okay, question is there another light source I'm missing here? Only way we're gonna know for sure is if we actually go in game and look, actually, honestly. So, yeah. Hi, Wonk! You almost sneaked in. Yes, I was a little busy looking away. Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah. Fire marble. Yeah, sure. Common room lighting. You... I'm gonna assume... that all of the things on these objects are going to be... Yeah, I'm assuming those are all shared. Whoa, okay, what do we got here? We got this object. Cement, bricks. Okay. Ah! I bet you I'm going to have to split off that into its own light group. Or I could just... Nope. Yep. I have a feeling that that's going to screw up some of the stuff elsewhere in Kirel, but we will worry about that later. Actually, hold on a second. Let's count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, missing 1, 10. Let's look at this, because I bet you, yeah, I bet you all of this is using the exact same texture here. So if I go common room, okay. What distance are you using? You're using that. Looks like it should affect the entire room properly. Okay. Let's test the age and look-see. Sneaking cookies can work wonders. Yes, they can. My hope today is to get most of Kirel knocked out. Oh. Kirel Plaza 2DDS has no cube image. Yeah. Of course. Of course. It lost the... Plaza 2... Frickin'. Of course it lost the frickin' UV map. Build. I'm looking for Kirel Plaza 2. Boop. Save. Test age. I don't know why it forgets the frickin' cube maps all the time. I keep running into that. That's a little annoying. But, well, nothing I can do about it. Swishy ears, swishy ears, swishy, swishy, swishy ears. Boop, 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 boop. So yeah, I think Chisopreniv is visually in a state where I can consider it done. I think the main issues at this point are just the little henpecks that are not consistent between Moolah and what I've built. And that's going to require some back and forth. I'm not into sushi. No, I may be a cat person, but I'm not into sushi. No, I like my fish cooked, not raw. But did it seriously not export again? It forgot all the cube maps. Okay, so I gotta rebuild all the cube maps again because it closed the frickin' window on me and didn't show me the error. Blah. Cat cookies. Yeah, Yeah, Kirel Bookroom DDS has no. Build cube map, Kirel Bookroom, dope, 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 dope. I'm gonna do the silly thing and pack all into blend, and hopefully that will keep it from losing those stupid cube map faces again. I just put Kirel Bookroom DDS. I just built Kirel Bookroom DDS to have a cube map. You fricker. I'm going to watch it carefully this time, see if it stops again. I am watching it carefully. NB01 floor reflection, 0 DDS has no cube image. Build cube map from cube faces. B01. File. No new files have been packed, it says. And it loses it again. Really? You lose it again after I... Why? Why are you not accepting the cube map now of all times? Seriously, why are you not? Save the data block even if it has no users. Frickin' I swear. The data block even if it has no users. Save the data block even if it has no users. So a cube image is, imagine you have a cube, but it's only textured on the inside. And on each surface is a picture of your environment. So when you look at a reflected surface, you want what's above you to, when you look at the cube map, you want what's above you in the real world. Yeah, I see. Kirel Plaza 02 has no. Build cube map from cube. Kirel Plaza. Why are you not working? Why is this not working all of a sudden? I just built you a cube map! I just built you a cube map! What? Book room? Kirel Plaza 2? What is going wrong? Has no cube map image! Really? Really, you say it has no cube map image? This is mildly frustrating. Finally! It exports! And there's Uru! I tell you, this whole situation is just... I tell you, this is just... It's... Sometimes Blender likes to do these things to me, and I have no idea why. I have to rebuild the cube maps again and 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 again. I want to scream. Ugh, bones. Don't get me started on bones. Seriously? Seriously, why is this just not working? I'm not even sure half of the things out there are rendering right. Woohoo! We have lighting! Oh, we have the most glorious bright lighting in here. Perfect. Okay. And look at that, we have a reflection. So, yeah, so what you're seeing here in the floor, this reflection, is the result of a cube map. There is a cube map that is showing In this case, Cyan gave it the exact same image rather than give it a unique cube map for the specific room. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Point is that the reflection that you're seeing in there is basically the game is rendering the inside of a cube, sort of, and you are seeing the cube only through that particular render layer. It's weird, I know, but that's the way it works. Okay, so got this room lit up properly. Let's go take a look through Kirel to make sure we don't have any other dark textures that need fixing. Bonk. Tink! Still no idea why those aren't making sounds, but oh well. Oh. So, that right there means I've done something wrong, and the imager is rendering... Oh, it was only one frame that it rendered like that. Which means one of my textures is rendering above all the others. Let's wait to see if it comes back around again, because I know it will. I need to figure out which one that is. Of course, it doesn't come around immediately. But anyway, that means one of my textures is rendering above everything else when it shouldn't be. For the imager, at least. It'll be easy enough to figure out. But yeah, like, this is a cube map. This reflection of everything up there, that is we're looking at the inside of a cube there. And that is displaying all of that. Still no idea why we're missing the buttons, but... Okay. If I'm right, it'll write the texture over top the Avi. Still need to figure out what's wrong with that image. Actually, there's an easy way to test this. Please avoid drinking the lake water. That's good and normal. Aha! It's that one! It's rendering over everything. Okay, cones and blockades are for your protection. Please mind the reconstruction. Okay. It's the cones and blockades one. Okay. Cones and blockades. Cones and blockades. Ah, you're yes, a cube map is typically used for reflections. It's usually used for fixed, non-dynamic reflections at that. Because we're looking for which one? It's you. Skip depth test. Yep. Okay. Clock rail camera target. Ugh, Kirel Plaza 2 dummy. That right there is what Doobs did for a real-time Viz region. So we're not going to be doing that because we don't need that for performance reasons in a Cyan Age. Look at all the stuff that's still here from the original. What are you? Oh, DRC stamp. Okay. Anyway, so this whole area here. Is there a volume around this? Is there a soft volume? There's a SFX soft volume. There's another soft volume. But are you... Okay. You are shadow only light, so I will set you to only shadow. You are set to door omni. I'm guessing that's omnidirectional for everything. Omni light, no shadow. Okay. I'm going to leave those the way they are for the moment. So, the next thing I'm going to do is rather than copy and paste this book mesh all over the place, which logically I would consider doing, logically I would consider copying this, but I want to avoid the stupid PRP blend render issues that we were having in Shiso. So instead, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to create a new book mesh. That's exactly the same size as this one. Uses basically the same textures. And I do say basically, but it's not going to be entirely. Okay, so we're going to create a cube. This is going to be our Kirel Book Room LB1. Tab. I'm going to shrink that down. You might be asking yourself, Harley, why are you building a linking book texture for? Anyway, thing is, Nexus LB. Nexus LB. Anyway, point is that, Nexus LB. Point that I'm going to be having here is that, I'm going to be adding more books to the Kirel book room eventually. So, in order to do that, properly, we are gonna we're just gonna do this. Yeah. So we're gonna get the rough size of the linking panel here. And we're just gonna stretchy. 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 Okay. And we're just gonna So the reason I'm doing all of this rather than just reusing Cyan's book model, frankly, I really dislike Cyan's book model. That's not a knock against it. It's a very fine model for what Cyan did and what their purpose was, but I really just don't like how the linking panel is modeled, and it's a really weird book model in a lot of ways. I've probably rambled about this before on various things before. Anyway. Just gonna sign a paper here. Okay, what texture are you assigned to? You are assigned to UV map 0. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, the reason I'm doing it like this is, yeah. Like I said, I don't like Cyan's book model. It is very weird. I made this point abundantly clear in past videos. Point being, yeah. I just would rather remake the whole dang thing from scratch rather than try to just rather than just try to reuse the model, because it's frankly just a matter of my preference here. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna zero out all of this. Hold on a second. So, tab. Okay. Here's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna lower this vertex down to here, which is basically the end of that. Okay. We're going to pull this, pull that. Pull this, pull that. Point is, we're just going to try and get this roughly in the same positions. Not exactly so, but just generally enough. Okay. Then I'm just going to select these two. Material. This way we have an easy way of judging where everything is. Come on. Select the dang point. There we go. I know that doesn't matter down there so much because it's just going to... I know the bottom ones here don't matter so much, but it's just going to give me a nice point of reference. To make sure I'm getting everything as layered as I possibly can get it. And the whole reason for this is just, I don't like this book mesh all that much. Like I said, I want to just remake it. Okay. That should be that all done. And then I don't need any of these panel textures down here, 'cause I can just boop, do that. Okay, material. I'm going to set this. Make sure you are assign, new reset. Take. And then that is an artifact of the whole thing. There we go. But anyway, I'm going to be adding books. In case that wasn't entirely clear from my rambling earlier, I am going to be adding linking books to yeah, I'm adding linking books, and I'm adding linking books. Because eventually we're going to have more than just the Nexus book here. Boom. Okay. Boop. Okay. Okay. New. No. Q project. No. Smart UV project. There we go. Gonna do that. And then we're gonna mirror that. Yeah, that'll do. Use Smart UV Project. Up. Yeah, that'll do the trick. Okay, and now for the first test. We're going to try to align this book into this podium. Hey, perfect! Okay. Rotation and scale, and we're going to add this to the visibility set. Tests. Troubleshooting. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we have one linking book. And this is the center position. So I'm going to rename this to garden, because the center position always goes to the garden book. And I'm going to make sure that's smooth shading instead of flat. We're going to duplicate it. Come to this station. Whoop. Material. Then this one's going to get another unique linking panel. I'm going to adjust the mesh on this one just ever so slightly. And then this one is going to be named... Take a guess what I'm going to put here on this one. Go on, take a guess, Iwonk. Take a guess. You still here, Iwonk? Are you still here? I'm guessing you're still here anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put this one a Jellic book. Yeah, That book is going to link to a public instance of Jalactador. Or just Jalak. I'm going to actually just subdivide this mesh just a smidge, just so I can grab these, raise it up a bit, and we'll just smooth this book out just a little bit more. I just completely wrecked the bending I just did. Anyway, so yeah, that's going to be a Jalak book. And then duplicate. Come over to this. Material. And this one's going to be another special one. This one's going to be Gerson Wall. I'm going to take these pages now. I'm just going to squish them down just a little bit. I'm just going to squish it down just a little bit more. Yeah, that'll do. Alright. That book will now have a slightly different profile to it compared to the other two. I'm just going to flatten that a bit. I'm going to raise that just a smidge. There. I'll give the book, each book its own slightly unique identity. So, now then, pod concept revisit. I need a new history screen. Link panel. I have a whole link panel here of I have a whole folder here. I don't know. Are you seeing that? No, you're not seeing that. Desktop browser? Nope. Window capture? Nope. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I got a whole folder here of remade linking panels that I made, and I need two in particular, these two. Go back to my pod concept revisit. Okay, so now I've got those panels in here. Boop. And we're going to come to this book. Yoop. Nexus, we're going to rename this to Gerson Wall Panel. Going to make it, give it its own unique texture. Gerson Wall Panel. Open. Go to X. Link panel. Garrison Nexus. Oh, look at that. It just fits right on there. I'm going to come over here. Rename this. It's going to be Lock Panel. Lock Panel. Trail. Boop. X-Link panel. Lock default. Okay. Okay. And if I've done my task right, whoop, go to material. Got a nexus. We've got a Garisa nexus. We've got a temporary nexus because I don't have a panel for the Garden Age. And then we got Jalak. So I'm going to save. And we're going to export. The garden book will probably just be disabled because I don't have a Garden Age. I would one day hope to have Daribo. We once had plans of maybe if we could do the Cyan Mist 5 ages in Umula, we would put Daribo in Kirel, but yeah, I don't have a linking panel for even doing that, let alone a screenshot that I could use as a temporary thing. So it's just going to be another blank Nexus. It's just going to be a generic Nexus book. Nobody cares if it's just another book. But yeah, for official release, when I set this up, it's going to be if we don't have a Garden Age settled out by the time that I push an update for this, then well, I'll just leave that garden book disabled, I think. And we will add SDL variables for the new books that we've added. We will add new variables for those. But for the moment, we're not at that stage yet. We're still in the getting things looking pretty. Whee! Oh. Well, the color grading is off. I bet you that's got a... I bet you that's got some Vertex paint on it. But, hey, we got a Greason Nexus book. That looks very fancy. Secondary Nexus. And then we got a Jalak! Jalak book. I am quite happy with that. Yeah, look at that. This book has its own unique shape to it. This book has its own unique shape to it. This book has its own unique shape to it. And then the Cyan book has its own unique shape to it. So I am quite happy with that. If you look at this at a glance, you think, oh, cool, linking books. And then you realize they have slightly different looks to them. They're all kind of pressed differently. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm especially happy with the Greason Wall book having that different shape to it. That is a very good look in my opinion. I like that. I like that look a lot. Yeah. figure out what's going on with the cool Yeah! Gold linking books! Okay. What is going on with you? Vertex paint. Aha! Knew it. I knew it was Vertex paint. What did my phone just buzz for? Nothing important. Okay. So yeah. Go to Vertex paint, and we're just gonna slobber all over this with the color that we just pulled off of that Nexus book. In hindsight, maybe I should have done this before I messed with all the book meshes. Oh well. At least these book meshes aren't too complicated, and they don't take too much to get right. We're going to come here, and we're going to go Vertex paint. Ooh. There. Perfect. That should all look color consistent now. That should all look very color consistent now. Now, I'm not wiring up these to link yet because I think I am going to need to create custom linking book definitions, and I'm not in the mood for doing that today, just yet. So instead, I'm going to just to make sure that the Vertex paint works the way I expect it to. I will be right back. I'm going to go get a drink of water. Yes, not lake water. I'm not drinking the lake water. I am not drinking the lake water, no. Especially not this lake water. I can already tell those look much better. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's much better. That blends in much better with this room now. So much better. That is just so much. That is just so much better. That is perfection. That's perfection right there. Oh, yeah. Vertex painting! Woohoo! It worked out for the best here. I missed a corner, but that's fine. It can be a little miscolored of a book. It can be just slightly miscolored in places. It adds to the unique charm of the book. Yeah, these books can be a little miscolored in places. That's fine. That adds to the charm of it, I think. It makes them a little more unique. Right. Okay, so I've put this off long enough. Let us wire up this fancy thing. Yeah, they're not earrings. They're ponytails. They're twin tails. They pop in when I hit F1, and those are not actually earrings. They are ribbons that I just did not color to match the hairband because I did not know about these little pigtail toggles, and I could not find them when I was creating the avatar, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway. They just they come in and go as I enter first person and third person. That is all. Yeah, they come and go. Okay. We're going to zoom out here. We're going to do our little drift trick here. And come along in here. And then I'm going to select all of these objects. Okay. Including this one. Hidden away up there. There's one in here. No. But there is a hidden real-time light in there that I completely missed. We're going to add this to common room lighting. And then we're going to do common room big light. Because there was another light we missed. There were two lights. Okay. Anyway. So, what we have here is a speaker object. We can ignore it. What we have here is our audio emitter that has all of our Kirel's speeches. And down here, we have the button, sound effects. We have a seek region. Actually, before I forget, let's make sure all the textures on this are in common room lighting. I'm just going to make that its own thing, common room, and I'm just going to name this common room. Yeah, that should help. Oh yeah, that looks so much better now. So, this is where I'm gonna open up the node editor. I'm gonna create a new node tree. And this is going to be temporarily named Kirel Podium Audio. I'm going to have to look up a bunch of things and make sure I get the right names for them, but we will get there. First and foremost, I'm going to quickly... yeah, I'm going to quickly look up something real quick. Let's see here. I'm looking for... Kirel. Actually, just going to look for Kirel. Okay, so the string for this particular thing, the thing I actually need to name this to keep it consistent with what is on Moolah is actually this, C Python Podium. I know that's a really silly name for it. I would name it something more obvious, but I'm trying to be consistent with what's already in the shard to prevent conflicts with the server data. So, before we do anything else, we're going to find our common room podium position here, and we're going to add our advanced modifier, and this is going to be our C Podium. There are reasons I named them that. There are very good reasons for naming them that. I'm being consistent with what was already installed on the shard. It's at this point that anyway, yeah, sorry. I got distracted there for a second. Blend Discord things. Yeah, neat nodes. Nodes. Yes, they are eek-worthy. Okay. So, I need to open Chiso before I get distracted again. Because I need to reference its node tree. Chiso Primitive. V2. And you're not going to see what we're doing with Chiso. I'm just looking at it in the background for reference. Okay, save that. Node editor. I want C Python Podium. Okay. Like I said, we're going to be referencing stuff. This is going to get a little complicated. I'm going to add Python file. Do I have it? No, I don't have that script. So we're going to look for X Podium. That's what we're starting with. Yeah, I know. Simple, right? Okay. First thing we're going to set up is the action podium button. Now we got three things: clickable, region sensor, etc. The first thing it goes to in the Chiso build is clickable. Avatar facing target. We're going to select common room podium button. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to say avatar inside region, and we're going to copy the name of this region. Boop. Common room, region, podium, click. Now, we're going to skip ahead a bit. We're going to go to ID 4. Right here. Yep, we're skipping ahead to ID 4. And I'm going to take that whole, take this string that's from the Kirel, the original Kirel. Boop. So, this is the name of the object that we have the advanced modifier on, the common room podium position. We have the name of the node tree, and then we have C resp audio %D. But we're gonna need to remember that. So this, especially this last part, that C resp audio %D. And there's a reason for that. But again, we'll get to that in a bit. Okay. So we just did ID 4. I'm going to skip ID 5 for the moment because I need to look at the SDL file to do that. And text editor, do I? Neighborhood 2 SDL. I do not have the SDL file copied over. Give me a second. Kirel. SDL open with Notepad. No, I don't want to load that. In fact, I don't want to load that. No, I don't want to save that. Okay. We're going to Control A. We're going to Control C. I'm going to paste that in. I'll scroll up here. I'm just going to pop that out. Yeah, this is an important thing here. When modifying an SDL record, do not modify the existing record. You must copy and paste a new version below the current one and make your changes there. So, like, if we scroll all the way down here, you'll see that we keep iterating versions. Like, we were on version 6 here. Yeah, we're going to iterate this again. I'm going to name this version 7. Hey, lovely. We're going to scroll down here. Boolean variables. Huh. Wonder what that's for. Aha. Here is our SDL for what we're working on today. We're going to go back to our node editor. We're going to grab our SDL variable name. And we're going to drop that in. MB01 common room speech. Okay, we now theoretically have a good chunk of this working, so we're going to save real quick. But yeah, I'm going to go back to our text editor here, and I'm going to... Aha! See, here was where Dubes was thinking ahead, and like I said, we were considering Daribo at one point. So I'm just going to leave that as it is, because I want to be hopeful. I want to be hopeful that we will get that eventually. And I'm going to name this new one Person Wall Book Viz. Backspace to make it tidy. Boop. And then we're going to name this one Jalak Book Viz. Space to make it tidy. And voila, we have now iterated our SDL. And we now have version 7 that I'm going to have to push somewhere eventually to test it. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of NB01 stuff in here that we're not going to mess with because all of these are leftovers from when Cyan copied Bevan, Neighborhood 01, and turned it into Kirel. So a lot of these do not do anything. Anyway, we're going back to our node editor now. Boy, I'm starting to get hungry a little. I'm going to save real quick, and I'm going to go grab myself some cookies that I can nom on. And I had a bunch of things open, and you did not see what I was doing with the node editor. So, yeah, let me go back here. Nope, that was the wrong window. Okay, we're going to go back to our text editor here. Right here. We copied, pasted all of that. And now you can see what I did. But yeah, I added 2 new book variables. I'll leave the Daribo one as the garden variable, just in case we do end up ever having that be Daribo, but for the moment, it's just... That's just going to be our garden placeholder. But yeah, we copied all of this, and we pasted it over, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, yay, look at that. We have a new SDL variable. We iterated it. It is now version 7, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, yeah. Right, node. So yeah, give me a second. I'm going to go grab some cookies to munch on real quick. Be right back. I bought Girl Scout cookies. I got a whole... You can't see them, but I got a whole stack of cookies in a bag. In a little baggie. I'm tearing it open. Yay. I think you can see me chewing. Alright. Snack acquired. So. We're going to start with our push podium one-shot. So right here, you see how it says responder? And over here it says responder? This is going to be important later. So we got the responder. We've got the responder state. And this thing triggers a one-shot. We're going to copy this data. This is telling our avatar that we're going to play the button touch animation at marker touch button. Boop. Then we're going to select our position seek point. Boop. Now comes the tricky part. The first thing that I have in my Chiso stack is a timed callback. A timed callback, you might ask. Why a timed callback? Well, we're doing a timed callback because that's what the button needs. I'm setting this to 0.1. So this is going to make sure that everything kind of works in the right way. So this button is going to send 2 things. First, it's going to send a sound. I'm going to select our sound object here for the podium button. Object, boop. And then we're going to select button down. Go to beginning, action, play, looping no, volume no, don't change. I'm going to put this one off to the side because the sound one is an important one. I'm now going to do object animation command. I'm going to try and find, aha, common room podium button. Animation, button down, go to beginning, action, play, direction forward. That's all we need to do for the down. Now, the reason I say we need to hold the sound one off to the side is because when I do this the other way, what I'm about to do, when I have it coming off the animation thing, the sound often doesn't fire off, and that's not good. So we want it off of the sound to do another timed callback. And this time callback is going to be, for consistency's sake with CISO, 2.16. And yes, there's a reason I'd have that number. You can probably guess. That way. Flats are down. Then we're going to have the same thing. We're going to have a sound. And then we're going to have an animation. Like I said, we're going to select the same object, Nexus button. Boop. Animation, button up. Go to beginning, action, play, direction forward. And then we're going to have our SFX podium. Let's do that. Sound up. Go to beginning, action, play, looping node, volume no change, direct. No, okay. So, theoretically now, we have... Okay, hold on 1 second. No. See, this is where things got screwy on us. There is a button-up animation that has improper keyframes. Let's go to our timeline here and look. Yeah. This needs to be 10. See, it's a good thing I checked that. It is a good thing I checked that. With the CISO podium, it just had one down animation, and then we played it going up in reverse. But because the Kirel has up, down, and an up as part of the same motion, we have to ensure that that is going to play properly. So, now, ostensibly, what we have done here is we have made it so that every time we click the button, it will go down, wait, do a sound, wait 2 seconds, then pop up and do a sound. So the time callback is both for consistency with everything else, but also to give the audio time to stop playing. Not only that, the time callback gives us a nice reasonable pause between the button going down and the button coming up. Because if you just played it all at once, it would just go, without time callback, it would just go chunk, chunk, instead of chunk, chunk, you know. All right, now then. Going against all common sense of chronological order, here is how I wired things up with CISO the first time. And this, I will note, is the correct way of doing it for Kirel. But it is completely backwards from what we needed for CISO. So, and this is going to be a little henpecky, I suppose. I don't know if that's the right word or not. Anyway, ID3, responder list. And now you'll see here, it says responder.001. We do not want it to say responder.001. I'm going to put this in audio 0. Now, if I go back to Chiso and I look at the audio that I have that plays and where, responder 0 is always going to be the all stop. So we're going to have a sound. We're going to have a sound. We're going to have a sound. And I can stop that for the moment. So our object is now up here. Emitter 01. We're going to apply this to all of these. We're going to start with, I actually just need to add one more sound. There we go. And then all of these are action stop. Action stop. Action stop. Action stop. And I'm going to make sure that I have all of, I didn't duplicate these by accident. Give me just a second. Come on. Q1 2023. Q1 2024. Kirel Watson. Okay. And we only have, okay, we only have those 4. ID 0 is the last one in the stack, and it is always, always the all stop. Now, you might be thinking, but wait, Harley, ID 0, isn't ID 0 the first one in the stack? And this is where I got tripped up. This is where I got tripped up. See, I assumed that Plasma Python, this code for the podium one-shot, would be reasonable, and it would go 1. It would start at 0 as its default, and then when you press the button, it would go to 1, and then go to 2, and then go to 3, then to 4, and then back to 1, or 0, to stop everything. That's how I thought it worked. You can probably guess that it does not work that way. Isn't ID 0 the first one I want? No. No, it is not the first one. It is not the first one. ID 0 is the last one. So that means, this means that when we want this to go in chronological order like we do in Chiso, what we have to do is we have to make the oldest one have the highest number. And then the newest one has the lowest number. But for Kirel, it's the other way around, where the newest one has the highest number and the oldest one has the lowest number, which is the way that you would expect it to work for a chronological order. But it's not chronological order, it's reverse chronological order. So you can see where I was getting very, very, very confused while I was working on this with Chiso. And let me tell you, the amount of times Chiso's podium gave me such a headache. Sure, buddy, and yes, the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. Yeah, so, are you guys ready for a fun time? Because I'm sure not. Okay, so, Like I said, we're doing reverse chronological order here, but this is actually chronological order to my mind. So responder 01 is going to get... So we got responder here, CRESP audio 0. You'll see that it's matching this bit here, the CRESP audio %D. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to rename this ID 1. And this is going to be a sound. This is going to take this emitter. Boop. This is going to be our... Now here's where you're going to get tripped up. Here's where you're going to get tripped up. We want this to stop. We want this to stop. Kirel fan Q1. Oh, Q1 2023. We want this to stop. Stop it. I'm going to go to the next one, and this is going to be our time callback. It's going to be 2.16 to make it match. And then this is going to be another sound. And this time, we're going to go to Kirel Watson, go to beginning, action, play. And if I have done everything correctly, here, this is now properly set up so that when we reach the when we are on the third file and we press the button, it will stop that file and it will play Watson's speech. Like I said, Watson's speech is the oldest one. We want this to be the first in the stack after they all stop because it's the last one in the stack. So we're going to create another ID 3. CRESP audio 1. In fact, actually, I'm going to come over here. Responder state 1. CRESP audio 2. Responder state 2. Boop. It's going to be our sound. Come to our SFX emit. Boop. Now, the one we just stopped was Q1 2023. So we're not doing that one. We're doing Q3 2023. Action, stop. Send on completion. Timed callback. 2.16. Send on completion, sound. Again, we're going to select our audio object. Now, we're going to do Q1 2023, go to beginning, action, play. This seems so backwards, doesn't it? This seems so backwards. I know. My brain is hurting just trying to explain this to you. My brain is going like, why? No, it should be the other way around, right? But it's not. It's not. Yeah. It's backwards but logical in a backwards sort of way. Yes, buddy. That is exactly the point I'm trying to make here. We're going to do the exact same thing we've been doing. CRESP audio 2, we're going to copy that. We're going to put this CRESP audio 3 state is going to be responder state 3. Boop. Want to do sound. And again, here's where it feels super backwards. We're doing now the oldest one, or the newest one, Q1 2024. Going to stop. Going to do a timed callback. Boop. 2.16. Send on completion, sound, boop. Object, boop. And now, what was the one we stopped earlier? That's right. It's right. It's Q3 2023 that we are now going to the beginning of and playing. And now, you think this is the last? This is where it loops around again to being, okay, here's how this probably should work. Even though we have the all stop, even though we have it as an all stop at 0. We're still going to do sound, object, SFX imager. That really should have a different name. And we're going to have it go to the Watson, and we're going to tell it to stop. Just in case it happens to be playing and the all stop did not get cleared. Oopsie there. I did the wrong thing. I need to do the timed callback to 2.16. Boop. Now we do the sound. Now, I realize this is probably completely unnecessary to do, but the reason I'm doing it is so these are all even across the board. And why do we want them to be even across the board? So that it's consistent in its timing. The other ones all start with stopping a sound file, a timed delay, and then playing the sound file. If we removed that first stop, suddenly we're just going right into the time delay and then the sound. So even though, theoretically, the Kirel Watson audio should not play, you know, completely, theoretically, we should not have any issue with this. We're still doing it to ensure consistency across the interactions. Now, I'm going to eat a cookie. And now, I'm going to test the age. I'm still hungry. I'm going to eat another cookie. You got it, I won't. consistent consistency makes great cookies. Yeah. So, here comes the moment of truth. Did I do this correctly? Did I wire this up correctly, and will it work? Theoretically, this variable should work because it's already on the old SDL file, I would imagine. Assuming Dubes pushed the SDL file to Kirel when he was doing tests, or to Destiny when he was doing testing for it on his end. Which I'm assuming he did. Boop. Okay, everyone. Whoa! That's much brighter! You know what? I don't think people will be opposed with that. I can still turn it down if need be, but I don't think people will be opposed to that. Okay, moment of truth. Fingers crossed. Key up.
Sure, everyone, and welcome to another news roundup. I am pleased to say that things in the cavern are continuing to progress.
I think I screwed the button animation
in the
up.
best possible direction, I might add. For starters, Christopher Thornburg and Keith Ward have completed their collaborative work on the Fall of Dinny Memorial Project.
Yep, I screwed up the animation. I grabbed the wrong animation.
I highly recommend. The memorial, residing on a small island on the Agura
Yep,
Lake,
I need to fix that animation in the node tree.
To the cavern explorers on November 18th of last year, and offers a quiet place.
Okay,
of
but
remembrance
also
for those of the Dinny who fell during the fall. As per usual, access can be reached through a linking book in Chiso Praniv. In age-related news, the Quaking in Eder Nabri
it is not working. The start and stop is not working, and I think it's because I bugged up the button.
And beachfront.
Who is speaking? That is Tyon. He's, yeah, that was Tyon speaking. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna come over here to our animations. So, button down, go to beginning, play, direction forward. Button up to beginning, play, forward. You know what? I'm just going to do the simple thing. Go to ending, action, play, action, backwards. Time callback. Button down, goes to beginning. Okay. Let's make sure we got all of our start stops right. So, we're starting with Q1 2024. We're stopping Q1 2024. We're playing Q3 2023, and we're stopping Q3 2023. We're playing Q1 2023. We're stopping Q1 2023. Starting Kirel. Okay. Okay, so looping. Okay, so we're going here. We're saying this is stop. Yes, that should be stopped. Okay. Hold on. Let me open up Chiso again, and let me verify I got the button pressed right. Chiso primitive. Okay. Button touches first. Does the timed callback. Sound. Timed callback. Animation. Timer animation. Beginning. Play. Forward. Timer animation. Ending. Play. Backwards. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. We're now at the stage where we have hit trial and error. No, Tyon is an explorer. Tyon is an explorer. He used to work on the cavern today. He works with the Cavern Communications Network nowadays. He does a few of the voiceover lines. Wait a second. Hold on. I think I know what's going on again. I did it backwards. No, I did it correctly, didn't I? Yeah, the earliest one needs to be... Hold on. I have a feeling I screwed something up here. I have a feeling I screwed something up. Okay.
Sure, everyone, and welcome to another news roundup. I am pleased to say that things in the cavern are continuing to progress, and in the best possible direction, I might add. For starters, Christopher Thornburg and Keith Lord have completed their...
Okay, no. I don't know what shoes I'm wearing. I don't know. I have not looked at my shoes. Okay. Okay. It's time to verify all of this. Button touch. Button touch. Goes into time callback. Sound. The sound is working. The animation, though. Animation is entire animation. Okay. You know what? Yep. And I'm just gonna remove button up. I'm gonna remove button down. I'm just setting this to entire animation. Entire animation. I'm removing ambiguity from the system. Okay. Now, that should hopefully... Yeah, okay, so the time callback, it does the sound and the animation. Time callback, it does the sound and the animation. That should work. That should work. Okay. You're responder 0. You're at the... Ah! When I say it runs down the list, I mean... It... It runs down the list. It needs to actually run down the list with responder 0 being at the very bottom. Yeah, we'll see what everything looks like in a minute, I guess. Okay. Yeah, see, when I told you these buttons are so backwards, you think they work one way and they actually work another. Well, let's see if I got it right this time, huh? We'll see if I got it right this time. It looks like I'm wearing regular sneakers, I wonk.
Sure, everyone, and welcome to another news roundup. I am pleased to say that things in the cavern are continuing to progress, and in the best possible direction, I might add. For starters, Christopher Thurnberg and Keith Lord have completed their collaborative work on the Fall of Dinny Memorial Project, which, if you have not had a chance to visit yet, I highly recommend. The memorial, residing on a small island on the Agur Lake, was officially opened to the cavern explorers on November 18th of last year, and offers a quiet place of remembrance for those of the Dinny who fell during the fall. As per usual,
I'm going to get rid of this first time callback. I'm just going to do it from the one shot. The animation. Play beginning. The animation. Go to ending, play backwards. That should work. That should work. Ah! I got rid of the time callback on the wrong one! I got rid of the time callback on the wrong one. I was doing it on Shiso, which is not what I wanted to do. Timed callback. Point 10. I do not want to screw that up. Wait, you know what? Okay. Save. I'm going to close that. Okay. Ah! Okay. Okay, I know where I went wrong. I know where I went wrong. I know where I went wrong. And it's the stupidest thing. It needs to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. Because again, it's... Wait. Get rid of the time callback. We're going to do the sound. We're going to do the animation. Going to make sure that that time callback is not screwing us up. Now, I am fairly confident I have wired this up correctly at this point. If it still does not work, then that means I need to submit my age's SDL file to the Destiny shard. I don't want to do that just yet. I'm fairly sure that's gonna break things if I do that. Or it might not break things. It probably won't break things. I had no issues with cheese, so it's just pod 12. It keeps... The issue with pod 12 just keeps awning me because I submitted a thing and then it broke and now nobody can go to there on Destiny and it I'm so, I don't want to submit the thing. I don't want to I don't want to submit it. I don't. Okay, let's see if I got it fixed this time. I have not, and it's nothing that I've wired at this point. I need to. Alright, here we go. I've broken it even worse. Now it isn't even playing. I've broken it even worse, and now it's not even playing! Alas, yon podium, whatever shall I do with you? Oh, shall I name you Yorick and hold a skull up and lament to you? No, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to review all my node wiring and make sure that I got it right properly. Okay. 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 So, you play. I'm going to change the button that is the clickable to the draw. Just in case that's giving me issues. I'm going to set it to triangle mesh, too. And here's where I'm going to do what I did with Chiso. Responder %D. I'm just going to rename all these to responder 0. Okay. You are Watson. You need to be responder 1. You're at the bottom. Okay. You are 1. Okay, so you need to be, yeah, you're responder 1. You need to be responder 2. You need to be responder 3. You need to be responder 4. Test. And if this doesn't work, I am definitely just going to consider this an SDL problem with the shard, and I will come back to it later. Node trees. Why did it have to be node trees? I just wonder. I do wonder. And I ponder. And I curiosity. And I think. And I thunk. And I wonder some more. What is it that the universe has against me getting things working right when I ostensibly know how to get things working? Anyone want to place bets? Will it work? Will it not work? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna start a poll. I'm gonna start a. I'm gonna. Settings. How do I? Can I start a poll? Can I? How do I bet I have to do it from here. Do I? I don't think I have that feature actually. Maybe. No. You know what? No poll. We're just gonna go for it.
Sure, everyone, and welcome to another news roundup. I am pleased to say that things in the cavern are continuing to progress, and in the best possible direction, I might add. For starters, Christopher Thornburg and Keith Lord have completed their collaborative work on the Fall of Dinny Memorial Project, which, if you have not had a chance to visit yet, I highly recommend. The memorial, residing on a small island on the Agur Lake, was officially opened to the cavern explorers on November 18th of last year, and offers a quiet place of remembrance for those of the Dinny who fell during the fall. As per usual, access can be reached.
Well, the all stop works.
Sure, everyone, and welcome to another news roundup. I am pleased to say that things in the cavern are continuing to progress, and in the best possible direction, I might add. For starters, Christopher Thornburg and Keith Lord have completed the collaborative work on the Fall of D Memorial Project, which, if you have not had a chance to visit yet, I highly recommend.
Okay. Well, buddy, it's not really a rant per se. He volunteered to do the recording, but that should work. That should stop. What have I done wrong here? What have I done wrong? Cookie time. Yeah, buddy, that's what I'm saying. The all stop works. The all stop at the very end works. So let me reorganize this so we all know what order everything is in. You know what? I'm gonna try. You. Go to you. Go to you. Go to you. You're set to stop. You're set to stop. You're set to stop. So the all stops work. Okay. Reorganize our row tree here. Okay. Okay. Okay, you are responder 4. You are responder state 4. Sound for stop. Okay. Sound for start. Responder 3. Responder state 3. Sound 3 stop. Okay. Kirel. Okay. That's the right file. Time to call back. Sound replay. Responder 2, responder state 2, sound 2 stop. Like 3, time to call back 2. 2. Q1 2024. Q3 2023. Sound 1 stop. Time to call back 1. Sound 1 play. You are set to stop. 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 I'm just... And then you are responder 0. I'll stop. I'll stop 3. I'll stop 2. I'll stop 1. And then I'm going to do the reckless thing and get rid of all that. Test the age again. Yes, we need to have a button stop in between each playback because otherwise you're just going to have the already playing audio track continue playing over your new audio track, and then it just gets cacophonic, and nobody wants that kind of caterwauling, especially not Cirrus. That was a Miss 4 reference, if anyone caught that. Anyways, if this doesn't work, I'm going to just give up on this for the day and move on to other wiring endeavors. Like doors, you know, things that are very important to get moving and opening so we don't have to fly mode through walls all the time. Yeah. I'm going to try and get as much of the node wiring done today as I can. Alright, everyone, place your bets, step right up and, cross your fingers for the best. And nope. So removing that text was not the right course of action. Let me go grab that from the original source again. Kirel. Okay, let me just... And yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna leave this node tree for the moment. We are done playing around with this node tree. This persnickety node tree. The heck are you? Ah, your Viz region stuff. Common room. Wait. Come back to it later. Okay. Ops interior, ops exterior, ops safe point. Okay, that's what those are. Okay. So, now for something I ostensibly know how to do a lot better. Doors. Yeah, back to the Kirel, troublesome missing door buttons. We're gonna call this book room door. Which ones are you? You are the right. Book room door right. Book room door right side. Yep. Okay. Right then. Add Python file, load script. And we're looking for... It's... Come on, where is it? X standard door. And we're going to go to our text editor. We're going to look for our... Okay. I have no idea which one is 01 and which one is 02. So we are just going to roll with it. NB01 link our SDL bool closed. Boop. Okay. Door can auto-close. That is a false. There's no more... Okay. Okay. So our SDL variable is link room 1 closed. We don't want it to auto-close. We don't want it set to owners. We don't have anything that it'll... We don't have an SDL bool for it to be enabled or disabled. Okay. Is there an exclude region here? Yes, there is an exclude region. Which I really don't like exclude regions. I really don't. But we will run with it. Our safe point. So there's our exclude region. I'm going to assume it will handle that automatically, because I don't... Later, buddy. Later. Okay. So, then, we now have to figure out our inside and outside responders. So, this is our... We're going to work on the interior first. So, we're going to have a clickable interior item. And... Actually, no, we're gonna... Okay. Button 01 proxy. Oh, I guess I did grab the right SDL variable for this one. Avatar inside region. Interior. Avatar inside region. We do not want it to be... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to uncheck it. I don't care. The avatar is facing the target. And then we're going to do our close from interior. I'm just going to make sure player can close. Well, actually, no, we got to do the clickable interior. Okay. I'm overcomplicating it. Clickable. I'm overcomplicating it. Clickable. Let's handle this first. Boop. Doop. Kirel. Come on, select the right thing. Boop. Okay. We can close our exterior and interiors, because those are now done. Okay. Responder. Open from interior. we're going to start with 2 animations because we have 2 parts of the door, I think. Yeah, we have 2 parts of the door. We have a door right. And we have a door left. And this is our open from interiors. We're going to go to open. Go to action, play, direction, forward. Open, go to beginning, action, play, direction, forward. Okay. Now then, the tricky part. If I'm remembering right, L was our close, but hold on, I'm gonna quickly verify that. Streaming cache, B01. Wrong sound. Right, okay, left is our close. Left is our close. So we're gonna send a sound. L is the close. Action beginning. Play. Boop, boop. Okay. That should ostensibly do everything at the same time. We're going to replicate that for our open from inside. Animation command, send animation command, whoop, okay. We're doing the open, go to beginning, action play, direction forward. Go to, let's open, go to beginning, action play, direction forward. Okay. That should be both of our opening setups for this door. That should be both. That should be both. Now we need to do the close from inside and close from outside. Let's make this a little tidier. Okay. Wait a second. Link room door right. Did I? I did it to the same object twice, which would not work. Well, I'm going to set that to don't change. Door right. Close. Okay, and then sound. And then we're going to hit the L, go to beginning, action, play. Okay. 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 There. Okay. Okay. Theoretically, if I have done this correctly, if I've done this correctly, I should now be... I almost made a valiant mistake. SDL hook. Book room door right. Thing won't work if the node tree isn't present. We're gonna export now, and we're gonna see if I got that working. Uru. I've been streaming for, by the way. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 42 minutes. Ye gods, oh boy. Well, I guess we'll see how far I get in this. I guess we will see. Come on. Finish loading. And that's a no. have I done wrong? ID. Okay. Okay. Ah. Ah, I only did the close from inside. I did not do the close from outside. That's why. I did not do the close from... I did not do one of the closes. That's why it didn't work. Close, go to beginning, action, play, direction, forward. Okay. 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 Try that again. Try that again. Try that again. Try that again. If this does not work, I'm almost certainly sure that Doobs never pushed an updated SDL for testing onto Destiny. Which means I gotta push a new updated SDL to make sure everything is working right. Because he didn't do that for Chiso. In spite of the fact that he added so many things in Chiso that required new SDLs, I have no idea how he tested them without it. But I will persevere. That voice did not agree with me. That voice did not agree with me just now. Sorry about that. Okay. Really wish those would play sounds, game. I really wish those would play sounds, but no, they don't. Yep. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it here on the stream. I'm gonna continue wiring everything up, but I need to push the .age and the .sdl file to Destiny Shard, and from there I need to test all the SDL variables, I guess. Because I am pretty sure at this point the problem I'm having is just that the server doesn't recognize the SDL input. I'm pretty sure it just doesn't recognize my input. And I still don't know why the frickin' buttons are all missing except for you. Why are you working? Yeah, you work. You work. You work. You work. You work. You work. This room works. So why? Don't you show your buttons? Well, at least that renders correctly now. But, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna call it for today. Yeah, I need to figure out if the problem is with my wiring or if it's just that the shard doesn't have the right SDL file on it. And I'll bet you it's just that it doesn't have the right SDL file on it. And if Kirel continues to malfunction, even after I fix it, well. Anyway, thank you for watching. Oh, hold on. Wonk, are you still here? I'm assuming you're still here. Have you seen my stream starting soon screen, huh? Cool. Alright. I'm going to call it a stream. Yeah, this is a new stream starting soon screen I drew. Ain't it pretty? Yeah. I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna call it here. Alright, take care, everyone. And I will see you all on the flip side. Laters! Boom!